Marhaba, Algebra 2. Just brought you a little bit of Turkish. Alright, so this situation is the same as the first two videos, except now we're trying to figure out how long does it take for the balloon to hit me in the head, because I'm 6 feet tall. Okay, well in this case we're still trying to look for the time. That is what we're trying to find, and we do know the height. Well, what height are we talking about? The ball is reaching, or the balloon is reaching. The height is 6. So we can replace this h of t here with a 6. Let's do that. So we have 6 equals negative 16t squared plus 14t plus 50. Alright, once we've set up our equation, we can kind of ignore the situation problem until we find a solution. And we have to figure out if it's the final solution or, what the units are and things like that. So we have negative 6 equals negative 16, or 6 equals negative 16t squared plus 14t plus 50. And we know that the only ways that we know how to solve it involve having equals 0, unless we want to complete the square, which I know none of you guys want to do. I know I don't want to do it, and it's nearly impossible with a number out in front that you can't just factor out. It's not easy to factor that out. So instead, let's use the quadratic formula, because factoring is probably not going to work too well either because of that negative 16 in front of the t squared. So to use the quadratic formula, we have to have that equals 0 form. So let's subtract 6 from both sides. So we have a new equation that says 0 equals negative 16t squared plus 14t plus 44. Now we're going to plug this into the quadratic formula, which we can now do because it says equals 0. We're going to get a slightly different answer. It should be just a split second less than the answer to the previous question. So let's identify A, B, and C. A is still negative 16. Oops, not the t. We don't put the t there. B is still 14. The only thing that changes then is the C. This time it's 44. It was 50 in the last problem. Alright, so we're going to plug that in. Alright, so I plugged it in for you. Don't forget the song. Alright, so we always have to do what's underneath the square root, that discriminant first. So we're going to have negative 14 plus or minus the square root of, what you get when you put that all in your calculator is 3012. Alright, all over. We'll do that 2 times negative 16 now, negative 32. Alright, again, we're going to get two answers. We got to do 14 plus what that equals, and 14 minus what that equals, and divide those both by negative 32. So let's see what our two solutions are if we do that. What we get is that x could be negative 1.28 or 2.15. So now we got to go back to our context again and figure out what this means. So it says, the question asked us, how long did it take for the balloon to hit him? Okay, so we figure out that these are our solutions. Well, you can't have negative time, so it's got to be this, 2.15, which means our answer that it took 2.15 seconds to hit him. Oh, and it hurt. No, it didn't.